Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Mystic Moonstone Angel Card reading. The duration is the 10th of June through to the 16th. Let's have a look and see what the cards have in store for us this week. First card we have is Archangel Gabriel and the card of benediction. When this card comes up, it's connected to communication, it's connected to new beginnings, but it's also connected to that sometimes just needing to put your own hand up, say, I need to listen, I need to gather all the facts, I need to see what's coming in. It's about taking time to reflect on everything, to allow everything to filter through. Okay, so let's have a look and see what our card of influence is. New birth, guarded vigilantly. So again, that kind of goes with that, don't rush in. Something new is coming in, like the card said. Archangel Gabriel is also the angel of children. So for some there may be a pregnancy, they may hear of a pregnancy, but at very early stages, something that needs to be just kind of watched and see how it unfolds. For others it can be an idea that you need to hold close. You need to look at all the details, watch all the communications coming in, maybe put out the feelers. On this card there's green shoots that represent growth, so something has the potential to grow, something has the potential to be much more than it starts off at. But there's also a butterfly. Butterfly represents personal transformation, finding your wings, going from one stage to the next. So again, growth. And both of these, if you notice, the card is very, very grey, very kind of almost standing back sort of thing. And the only colour that the eye is drawn to is the green, whether it's on the beads, whether it's the green on the card, on the shoots, or the green on the butterfly. The beads around her neck are a mix of yellow, green, and orange. Yellow, as we all know, is your sacral. I'm losing it. Your solar plexus. Oh dear, I'm having one of those days. It's your solar plexus. I knew what I wanted to say and it wasn't coming out. The orange is your sacral chakra, and then the green connects with the heart. So it's following your heart to what you desire, with all your heart really, that will give you that kind of strength. And if you look, the yellow is the smallest on there. So the solar plexus is like the least of that. So that means it will take you longer to sort of come into the personal power, but it will arrive. But the first thing on there, if you look, the green is about following your heart. The orange is the second biggest. That's about the passion and putting the passion into it, and that's self-belief in yourself. Okay, let's move on to the next card. Isn't it annoying when you have a word in your head and it just doesn't want to come out? And I've gone the wrong way around again. I keep doing that, don't I? We have every journey starts with a single step. Now that's interesting because that is going to be our influence card. Let's have a look and see what angel's bringing that in. Doesn't matter, I suppose it's a good way of showing you can do your influence cards first. It doesn't really matter. And we have Archangel Gabriel again. Now, he is the angel who whispers inspiration to us, and the card is inspiration. So again, I kind of feel that there's a lot of, maybe you're going to hear something that's going to trigger off that kind of, plant that seed that then kind of inspires you to do something that will give you that new beginning. Which is interesting because the card that came out before we knew which angel we was even dealing with is the every journey starts with a single step, and that's about a beginning, that's about trusting yourself. And again, there's butterflies on there. You can't be off the fact that she's naked, and I always feel when I'm doing a reading somebody and this card comes up, it's about being your true authentic self. Don't try and put layers onto yourself that aren't you. Don't try and wear somebody else's colours. Be your true self, because it's your true self that's going to help you to take that journey. Okay, and the butterflies on there again, as I just said, is about personal transformation and that growth. So these cards are really showing that if you spend the time to listen, the inspiration will start to flow in this week that will lead you to the new beginning that you desire. Okay, let's go. I've got it the right way around now. Let's go to the end of the week and see what we have. Oh, this is a nice one. We have Archangel Zadkiel and we have security. Archangel Zadkiel comes in, he brings emotional healing. Perhaps you've had ideas in the past, perhaps you've tried new beginnings in the past, but they haven't led to that security that you so desire. What your heart desires, because again, there's the green on there, the heart, you know, the heart chakra. And green is also the monetary ray. So, so when we think of security, we want to feel safe in our environment. We want to know that the security will continue. You know, it's no good having a short burst of abundance if it's then gone. You know, if it's like a short windfall that comes in and goes out as quickly as it arrives. Security is about sort of maintaining something being consistent, knowing you're building towards that. So let's have a look and see. Just looking at how tatty my cards are looking again. They get so, I use them so often that, you know, I just think when you shuffle, I always think you can always tell when somebody uses their cards a lot by how tatty they look. Beyond the mind beats the heart. Now, that kind of, to me, sums up what I've been saying about following your heart chakra, about following what it is that you desire. And sometimes you have to set aside logic. Sometimes the logic of a situation is what sets up the boundaries, and it kind of limits you because you think, well, if I do that, that's going to kick in, and this might happen, and this person might think this. It'd be better if I don't do it. Or you may think, well, I can't really go down that road because there's not the funding for that. And you're only going on the experience that you've either known or is to hand. You're not going on what goes beyond logic, which is the unknown. And if something's meant to happen, miracles happen, quite literally. You know, we might not be sending to the Vatican and saying, oh, by the way, there was a miracle in, I don't know, Ipswich this week. But miracles happen on a daily basis. And, you know, and sometimes they're not huge, but they're just little. And it's just like, I don't know, finding out that there is funding available, or somebody stepping forward and saying, you know, that's a really good idea, or I would like to support you, I would like to come in with you. Or, you know, maybe you've given up on love completely and somebody steps up who shows you that love does exist. You know, miracles come in all different forms. You know, it may be that you're totally skint and you look on the floor and there's a fiver. You know, miracles come in all these little ways, and sometimes we're just very dismissive of them. And we kind of apply everything to the logic. So, you know, so if we take something as simple as the fiver on the floor, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you needed to get, I don't know, something small, right? We're going to go to something really small because we're going to a fiver. You need to have your child's hair cut. Something so small, but you think to yourself, I can't because I can't afford it, so I'll have to wait. You know, maybe it's your child's school photograph coming up the next day and you're thinking, oh, it would really be nice to have the haircut, but I just haven't got that money. And then you go out and you see this fiver in the curb, just blowing along the gutter, whatever, you know, and you think to yourself, oh, that's a miracle. And that gave you that opportunity where if you hadn't gone out, if you just would have said, right, well, my child can't have their hair cut and I'm just going to stay indoors and sulk, you wouldn't have seen that. So, you know, that's my kind of example. Maybe a silly one, but it's an example of if you don't limit yourself to, you know, to the walls that life puts around us, built of logic, then sometimes you're allowing the universe to be able to bring in these miracles that can actually have such an impact on your life and can really help that growth. Okay, I'll do a quick recap for Mal before he has a go at me for waffling on. But Archangel Gabriel is really dominant in this reading this week. As I said, he's the angel of children, he's the angel of new beginnings, and the angel of communication. He's also the angel who inspires us, especially when we're dreaming. You know, quite often those little thoughts that come in, or just before we go to sleep, or just when we wake up. Okay, Archangel Gabriel at the beginning, and the benediction card. Stop listen, spend time thinking about what's coming in. New birth, guarded vigilantly. Make sure those ideas that come in, that you hold on to them. You might not want to tell everybody straight away. You might want to keep it to yourself. You might want to grow it. You might want to see how it's going to go. Okay. Archangel Gabriel, midweek, inspiration. Those little ideas are starting to grow. Maybe they're starting to take seed in your mind. Maybe you've done your research. You've started to realise there are avenues that you can explore. Take that inspiration, grow with it. And you know, there's a lovely globe on here, you know, it's the earth. And you know, when you look at that, that's about, it's bigger than what you think at this moment. You know, it's expanding. Okay, just like those green shoots, just like the butterflies, it's about expanding. It's about not being closed into just one mindset or self-limitations. Every journey starts with a single step. It doesn't matter if you're not ready to make this huge. Just take that first step. You know, just kind of think, yeah, I can get there. The greatest journey starts with a single step. That's what we have to think about. And again, this is about being yourself, the nakedness, being your authentic self, not being afraid to allow yourself to grow and, you know, and to be true to who you are and what you desire. Then we go to Archangel Zadkiel, a lot of emotional healing. Maybe you've tried things like this in the past, but this is going to be what's going to help you. It's going to help with that healing. It's going to help you to forgive yourself for past decisions, and to actually reach forward and not to be afraid. And then beyond the mind, the heartbeats. So yes, the mind is about logical thought, it's about past experience. You can only go on the knowledge that you know. And you can only get that knowledge either from what you've lived through, past experiences, the experiences of others, or sometimes research. But that research, again, is only limited to what other people know. And sometimes real magic is in the unknown. And the heart beating beyond the mind is about actually what you want, what you desire. And what you desire, you then kind of fuel it with this passion, and it's this passion that can turn a dream into a reality. And that's what you really need to connect with, and that's really, really important. Okay, and there's lots of lovely strands, and it's almost like we were talking about the beads, wasn't we, in the first one, and in this one it's like beads are kind of going everywhere. They're just kind of, whoo, you know, they're erupting, and that's like your thoughts, that's like your ideas. You know, there's a nest at the top here. You know, when you think about it, a nest is symbolic of birth, of something coming forward, of something growing, you know. So everything is about growing, it's about moving forward, it's about going forward. Okay, and that's what I feel this whole reading is about, and what I feel you need to prepare yourselves for this week, because I feel for many of you there's first steps being taken, and I think that's important, and you might not even realise the miracle of them until you look back. Anyway, with that, I will say love to you all. I hope you're all enjoying whatever you're doing at the moment. We have some sunshine for a change, which is lovely because it was like winter yesterday. Anyway, love to you all. Bye.